Hi, I'm Dan, and welcome back to the Rock Nerd Radio Show here on YouTube. It is day 2 of Constructicon week here on my channel, and we are going to take a look at my second favorite Constructicon. I swear it's not going to be a favorite one every day, but we are going to take a look at the Transformers Studio Series 86 Scrapper right now. Let's check it out.
Come geek out with us on the Rock Nerd Radio Show.
So here is Scrapper in his vehicle mode, his construction vehicle, and he's green. He is our Constructicon green. You see some hints of purple in there. Of course, he's got the black wheels with the silver hubcaps, but his vehicle mode isn't all that exciting. I think one of the best features about it is that you can actually move the front part, the shovel part, and significantly too. It does kind of click into place because of transformation, but it gets a lot of movement to it, and it will kind of click and hold in place. If you lift this and look at it dead on, hey, look, there's his head. But, you have the nice purple windows. Looking around, I don't see a Decepticon insignia anywhere on him. I believe in the animation, sometimes he had one in here. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but the only place that you see one is on the bottom of him, which you would only see in vehicle mode if he ran you over. So he looks pretty cool. But obviously, the more exciting mode for me is the robot mode. So let's get him transformed into that. Now, the robot mode transformation is very similar to what you may have experienced with him. You bring these pieces down from the bed of from the underside, and then you kind of just kick out the toes, bring the rest of the legs down. You already saw me kind of bringing them down. Separate, and these lock into place. So there we go. We have his legs pretty much done. Now, for the rest of him, I'm going to untab the arms. They just pop out like that, and then you invert them and pop out the fists, just like this. It is a very simple transformation for a Voyager scale figure. But, there we go. Then, of course, with the construction part, first off, you want to rotate this back. Take that, and this will kind of sit in a way that is comfortable. It doesn't make it like a weird piece sticking out. The G11 was essentially just like hanging off his back like this. And you can do that, but you can fold it up somewhat nicely in this mode. And then, of course, for the head, you do want to flip the chest down and flip the head out. My finger had a little hard time getting it, but there we go. Here he is in his robot mode. And yeah, he looks like Scrapper. He's exactly what you would expect Scrapper to look like. I'll lower the camera a little bit. He is his nice Constructicon green and purple. And yeah, like I said, there's that Decepticon symbol. And just looking at the head, we have some really cool detail there. I love the the face mask and the red eyes. Really would have been nice if there was light piping instead of being just a solid piece back here. If the red eyes were light piped, I think that would have looked really, really cool. But you get the nice splash of red on his chest and the silver with some like robotic detail. I already pointed out the Decepticon symbol. Going down to the waist, we have purple with the silver legs that go down into the green. And while there's not a lot of paint apps going on, there is some nice robot detail on his thighs there. And even on his toes, you can see. So it does look pretty nice. And then even at the arms, one color, but yeah, we do have some nice robotic detailing as well as vehicle detailing. And, sometimes I know people will complain about, the hollowness of the arms and stuff. But, they didn't have to sculpt all this. So I do appreciate that. Looking around at the back of him, it's, it is really just the back of him. It's not the most exciting thing. Yes, the legs are hollow. The thighs are hollow. Which, maybe there could be a way to fix that. But really, I'm not looking at the figure from the back like this. I'm always going to be looking at him dead on. And even when he goes into his leg mode for Devastator, you're not seeing those parts. So I'm a little more forgiving. Now, he did come with a number of accessories. First off, he came with the Devastator cannon, which is probably why this guy counts as a Voyager class figure. So it does split into two. You can already tell I did that. There is a larger cannon, or like a large handheld cannon, and this barrel piece. And all of this stuff, including another accessory, will fit on him. So if you want, you could always have him hold this one like a, large hand blaster. Because it's so big, it doesn't really fit into his peg very well in his hand, if I'm being honest. There are other areas you could kind of tab it to if you wanted to. At least I thought there were. Now I'm making a liar of myself. In vehicle mode, it can go on the bottom of his foot. That'd be a little weird for robot mode. So I'm just going to have him hold it again. And maybe this hand's a little tighter. So the tolerance on mine, the left hand seems to work. This hand, or this other cannon, you can make him hold it if you want. Or there's a hole on the cannon right here. So you can kind of make it like a side scope as you connect it there. So he's holding this one. It does look a little ridiculous in my opinion, because we all know what this one is meant for. But if you're going to have him standing by himself, you want him holding everything, you can do that. He also has this blaster. I do like this blaster. The hole in the middle of it is a little weird to me, because like what gun is functioning with a giant hole in the middle? But hey, whatever, why not? There is some nice detailing on it. You can see the back, there's like a tail fin there, and some like grill pieces sculpted in. And then at the tip of the laser, you know, you get your laser pointer, your laser barrel, whatever you want to call it. And he will hold this just like this, looking pretty nice overall. So yeah, like I said in my opening, he is my second favorite Constructicon, and he is like the leader of the Constructicon, like the Constructicons, like the master builder. Now I'm going to take his accessories away just for a moment so I can kind of go over his articulation. So in terms of Scrapper's articulation, he has quite a bit of articulation. I do like it. First off, his head can move left and right. It's on a ball joint, so it can go up and down. Of course, if you had the chest open, he could look way down, but why would you do that? That'd be weird. So nice head articulation. And like the up and down isn't a tremendous amount, but it's enough to make a difference. At the arms, they are going to go fully around. Just watch out, because like they will kind of want to clip in on themselves, which is part of the Devastator, transformation sequence. But you can get them to go around fully. And they are going to go way out just like this. I do like that. At the elbow, we do have rotation right above the elbow. And we have 90 degrees of bend at the elbow. The hands have nothing other than folding in, which is more for transformation than anything, but it's something he can do. At the waist, we do not have any rotation, but we do have the ability to bend to the side like this. There we go. It does look a little inhuman, but this is more for Devastator when he becomes the foot, adding essentially ankle tilt. So maybe nothing you're going to use in the actual robot mode, but it's there, and it does seem a little inhuman. At the legs, we're going to be able to kick forward this far. So it's not all the way forward, but it's pretty far forward. He can also kick back all the way back. So there is that. And his legs will kick out all the way to the side. We do have thigh rotation. We have knee bend, as you can see. And at the feet, we do have forward movement. We don't have any backwards movement, but we do have ankle pivot. So deep ankle pivot. He could kick his legs up like that. Pretty impressive. So in terms of articulation, it's not bad. I think what I'm feeling with him, and just about with every Constructicon, is that they seem very basic. Almost like some of these were like core class figures that were upsized. I don't think he's bad for what he is. I don't think he's great for the price. And I understand how you can pack up the price a little bit by giving him some extra accessories. Do I really think this should drive the price up another $10? Not really. But, I get where they're coming from. They got to put all those Devastator bits in somehow. I think there's another place they could have stuck this gun, and we'll be talking about that later. But even also with Mixmaster, who I previously reviewed, just to bring him in, these are both the Voyager class figures. And I get that there's some weight to them. They're going to be honestly carrying all the weight of Devastator because they turn into the legs. So they're a little bigger, but like I feel like a lot was compromised in terms of like the figure's articulation and overall look just because they're combining in ways that to me seem a little basic. So there's that. But here he is with Mixmaster. Let's bring in some other comparisons. Here he is with Studio Series 86 Megatron. As I've already said, one of my favorite figures this year. Here he is with the Earthrise Optimus Prime. And here he is with my G1 Scrapper. Scrapper was the second ever Constructicon I owned. And actually, I didn't own a Scrapper until about 2007. So, really cool. I do like that the difference in these are more like on the chest. Like, he has the reds and silvers, but they're in different spots. He also has this like silver decal here around his like midsection that this one doesn't have. That you can see that like the design for it is there. It's just not painted. So maybe some repro labels are in order. So there are my thoughts on the Transformers Studio Series 86 Constructicon Scrapper. I do like him, but I'm definitely middle of the road here. Like, yeah, he's nice. He's very basic, and at the Voyager price tag, I almost feel like it was hard to justify this one. Look, I'm glad we got all the Constructicons within a year of each other, but I feel like some sacrifices were made to get them into Devastator, who you will see once I've reviewed all 6 of these Constructicons. So we're going to keep on rolling with Constructicon Week, and make sure you check out the Rock Nerd Radio Show podcast. It's a weekly podcast that I host. It's hosted by myself and my good friend Vinny. We always talk about various pop culture topics, and there's bound to be something on there that you're going to enjoy. So let me know what you think of Scrapper down in the comments below. And until next time, I've been Dan. You've all been pretty awesome. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time.